and he's got a P250 once again. Yay to P2, well, yes to P250s, no need for a yay. I'm not a yay type.
I suddenly thought we were casting North American Counter-Strike now.
My nephew says yay sometimes, when he's being silly, but I'm not my nephew, and I won't say nay. Yay, or nay.
Not even if you're doing horse impressions.
I don't do horse impressions, Dan.
Except when you wear the horse head.
I wish I have pictures of.
I haven't worn the horse head for a while, actually.
I know, it's a hot reference.
I actually forgot about that completely. I just remembered how awesome I am. Envy moving into the B bomb site. The whole team is here. 3 CTs. Res playing passive. Res is dead. Get right will take his place. Will he be checked for? Of course he will be. Really wide play from Kishima, making it hard as possible. Then it still delivers a kill. While Get Right will fall. 2 versus 3 as the A rotation comes in for the CT side.
Yeah, pretty good spot here for Envyus. Bomb down, man advantage. You'd love to see that, but where do the headshots fall? So far, NiP are making it work. Scream's very weak, actually, and without any Kevlar as well. He'll probably die in one. Good torso shots, we'll have to see. Forrest now the only man to try to do this. I don't know if he's going to be able to find a kit either. He's really running out of time as he makes his way forwards, and the crossfire is very difficult. Oh, can't quite get the instant headshot he required, and that will be the round for Envyus. So they'll start off well, economically speaking, and any difficulties that may be experienced on Banana will be offsets for the time being, as NiP will not have grenades for some time.
Yeah, it's just like Sean was saying, where he's never really considered pistol rounds real CS. We don't get to see what Banana looks like when you have as many options as you do on full buys with all your utility.
The typical 4 MAC-10 Envyus. One thing we can recall from yesterday watching Envyus play, they do have some fun Banana setups, like they had the triple Molotov to just Molotov out all of top Banana. Stuff like that would be really interesting to see how NiP responds to it. As Envyus do have quite a few things which only, like, stuff that's just theirs. Like this is, for example, just their thing. Like no one else really does like 4 MAC-10s on these rounds. Is it good? Is it bad? I leave it to you.
I love MAC-10s. I think they're extremely strong. They're cheap, and you can run fast and shoot. And you feel like a gangster.
I actually love MAC-10s, but I am just repeatedly betrayed by them. So that is a problem for me. Ninjas in Pyjamas with 3 players waiting for this push from Envy, but they're not committing just yet. There's a flash in support for the MAC-10 player, but Kishima will get taken down towards CT. How many players have Envy seen? They're choosing to push behind this. Still 3 players remain. RPK moving into the site, charging the Coffin's position, and Rez will be late to rest, but Get Right is still there. Get Right's gone. 1 player in construction. We'll see what else can happen here for Envy.
Yeah, I like the way Envy did this. We'll go to that in a second. See if there's a chance back in here for NiP. Maybe the ceiling of MAC-10 could be the best possible scenario now. And considering that they have Deagles and Kevlar and so on, there's a pretty good argument to even saving this into the next round, because drop the Deagle, drop the CZ, drop the MAC-10, and you just buy PT-50, and then all of a sudden, you've got everybody with some stuff to work with. So I think that's probably more desirable, but they are pressing forwards. Can't quite land the shots, unfortunately, though, and everything will be lost, which is unfortunate. But one quick detail, I did like how Envyus, they sent Kiyoshima first, then had a delay. And normally on these rounds, when you have a player with a MAC-10, you'll see the guy with the MAC-10 and then everyone else with AKs. The guy with the MAC-10 goes to investigate the site and dies. He sees a stack. Then the whole point of that is so that the team can go elsewhere. And then, but here they actually just went with him, but just with a delay, which is quite, I thought that was quite a cool detail.
It's the double mind games.
Yes. It didn't actually end up doing anything at all, but it's it's a cool detail.
Sometimes you got to do the double mind games.
So you got to get it out there.
Kishima again will be the investigation man, making as much noise as possible, trying to invite someone in. I like to bounce a grenade off that wall in case somebody's boosted.
In HE?
Yeah.
Do you have a lineup, or do you just?
No, I just throw it.
Yeah.
I don't actually check the effectiveness of it, but obviously I should.
I mean, maybe it's one of those nades. I was asking because maybe it's one of those nades that's pretty forgiving.
But I feel like, yeah, experienced players should have a good idea of the general distance of a grenade, so you can judge it quite well. So just aim it for the middle.
That's how I feel as well.
Yeah, so I'd be surprised if I wasn't doing a good job there, but you should always check anyway. Good job has been done by Envy. They've managed to take B from the back.
You know, that might actually be a good double grenade that you could throw behind the smoke if you think they're set up. We've seen so many people do the flower setup and get kills from there in these matches.
Yeah, I think if you have a team who will, let's say a team who win the pistol round, right? If they go 3-0 up, if they always start their first buy round the same way, in that case, if they have the habit of putting somebody up there, then for sure. Triple Mac 10s versus this buy from NiP. Wow. This is the lightest buy in terms of utility. Two smoke grenades and 2 flashbangs for NiP on their CT side. Maybe this is because they have a read. They know that Envy are going to bring the SMG nonsense. This has to be because of that.
The really hard part about this is it's hard to get aggressive without utility on CT side. There's not like really small plays you can do with one flash too easily unless you wait for something and then flash retake it. But they could go to halls, except that halls it's so easy to take damage when you're getting stuck.
The way they're positioned though is like they're expectant of the numbers, fairly passive apart from Dennis, who was somewhat forward, had some cover but didn't work out for him. So again, max distance, they're definitely expectant of these SMGs, but how much more can they do with them? The trades are here, so perhaps it hasn't quite paid off for the NiP side.
I was gonna say that was such a good split, but they had the arch guys. They just let them hung them out to dry. They didn't even come out halls or lane.
Well, were you guys expecting NiP to buy like UMPs and stuff so they could have full nades, or?
I wasn't.
Because I mean they lost the pistol and then they force bought, so they can't have any.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean you could get FAMAS.
You could, yeah. I think you should have 1 or 2 people that will prefer to have nades.
Yeah, if you bought a FAMAS, you could get your normal smokes out at the very least.
I mean, yeah, I mean, for me, there's an argument to have like even three UMPs or something like that, so you can have just as many nades as you possibly can. It's such like it changes Inferno so much having utility. Like you can't what can you do? You can't do anything without utility.
I think the worst part really is that the other team knows what you have.
Yeah.
Because of the force buy.
Yeah.
They know you don't have good guns, so I think that's the biggest risk with the force.
That's another reason why it's like one of the callers' like dreams on the T side, when you know that, like when you see those very predictable circumstances and you know that the CTs are limited to like 1 or 2 options, and then you can deduce which one they'll choose just because of how restricted that they are, and then now based on what the previous rounds, the caller has this situation where he's like, okay, they got 2 rifles, to have a full buy, they're going to need to go for a save or 2. Like, it's just very easy to call those first few rounds, I guess is what I'm getting at here.
Fairly committed play from Envy. 1 player keeping an eye on mid in case there is aggression there, perhaps. Sorry, 2 players. So, okay, this is just a presence then. Forgive me. Happy has his knife out to make the jump. The jump to the balcony. Where are the CT players? Is there a stack? These are questions which require answering for the French and Belgians.
No information, so they're now in a 2-3. Envy are having a great round. Hit guy goes down, and there's 1 rifle left. Kind of in the open. Has a lot of work to do. Can't get a kill though.
Yeah, get right. His movement there was very strange. It was like he was surprised that there were opponents, because otherwise he's going to be because he was taking a diagonal peek as opposed to a flat wide.
Yeah, he didn't
peek,
expect it. Yeah.
And so it tells me he didn't expect it, and also, yeah, so that's unfortunate because there's a world where he can get those 2 kills and then there's a retake opportunity, but yeah, as you said, there was no information for NiP. They just kept to the gamble. Sometimes just gambling is fine. And obviously, like they didn't have really much in the way of guns or utility, so that makes it even a good call to play the round in this way. But you look kind of stupid when this happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's a risk. It's a risk to go for information. It's a risk to not go for information. But it's really stupid to not consider that sometimes it's less risky to take the initiative to look for map control early on.
Yeah.
Not that this is what they had to do or anything. They, I think that the previous round where they were low on utility, but they had all 5 rifles, they probably should have done something a little bit more aggressive. But again, we talked about why it's hard. But here's their real chance. Tons of chip damage. Kyo's almost dead. Now he is.
Banana hold begins for the ninjas in pajamas. Grenades to go behind the sandbags. But the player is further back. As you can see, Rez has a lot of space to play with. Has most of his health. And he's still holding on to his smoke grenades. Maybe feeling like Envy will be deterred for the time being. They've got a double peek, get right can back off if he wants to. You see him going for the headshot position around the logs, and he goes even further than that, but they're still waiting for him. And now Rez, what does he choose to do?
Look,
fight or flight, chooses to fight, and there goes B.
Look how good that flash was, but get right peek dry.
Ooh, Draken, he collected the bomb for a second, but RPK shows why he is the king.
Tough spot for Forest. Ooh, that's a free one. Not expecting that. Does get traded out though, leaving a really tough spot for Draken. A doable spot though. He's got an AK, full health kits, Molotov. So Draken can definitely make a go of it. Dennis, sorry, don't know why I'm saying Draken. I'm really far away from the screen. Now, when was that smoke thrown? It's probably what Dennis is wondering. It is dissipating though. There's the re-smoke, and that's from Pit, so he knows where one player is. I think he knows where the other one is as well now. He must know. Awkward spot. Happy will eventually take him down. A very good start, very strong start on the T side so far for Envyus off the back of the pistol win. But the money is in a good place for NiP. That said, like, this round I thought it was strange because NiP had top mid control. They had information that there was no presence towards top mids or apartments from the Ts. But then we see the dry peak on Banana almost as though you're expecting there to be one person there. So it feels like NiP misread that completely.
Misread or miscommunicated.
Yeah.
Definitely on an individual basis. I mean, I just don't know why he wouldn't have had the flash come out while he peeked just to get some information, even if the A guys weren't communicating properly.
Yeah.
So there is Rez trying to play around that that smoke by the car position, but he got wrecked by Scream immediately, who used his spawn to get up as deep as possible. And is trying to make something happen in the meantime. So in the future rounds, you have to wonder if NiP will change their aggression towards the B bomb site, because they've lost a man early over there.
Yeah, they seem to be misplaying Banana, which is, well, that's where I felt like they would have some strength. So Envyus taking full advantage, and now they're going for the committed play onto A, and it's looking great. Everyone is fragging as they should be, and the bomb site is there. It's another save situation for NiP, and they've got to deal with Banana better. Like I'm not sure. Like James, with the smoke, the smoke we've been seeing, like for example from Device, where you throw the smoke before the Molotov comes down onto car.
I saw
and
the smoke there,
it.
but I didn't see how the smoke came to be there.
Because I feel like that must be a meta thing now.
But you throw it at the corner of the wall right to his left there, and then it bounces to the right. That's what Device did anyway.
Right, yeah, there was a significant gap though, and Rez was just in there on his own. Didn't work out. But NiP may lick their wounds and come back better.
They've got to deal with Banana, but I think like that's every single round. That's where it's gone wrong. Like all their buy rounds, where things have gone very badly for them, they're just losing Banana in a really bad way.
And Envy, on the other hand, looking very, very strong.
Yes.
Very, very strong.
They're playing the advantages out very, very well. We saw really good calling off of the back of the pistol win, which I say really good calling. Again, I think I think every caller should know how to call from the positions we saw. Like, I mean, that would be like a really easy video to make, just because the options of the TTs, as you said, are so limited. So it's very easy to predict what they're going to do and what they're capable of. And so far, it's been pretty flawless.
Tactical timeout from Ninjas in Pajamas. What do we need to change?
I personally think they could just do the exact same B-nades that they did in the early round, did all that chip damage, killed Kyo coming through the molly. But then instead of playing top Banana and peeking after they get that kill, just either smoking it off or holding to see if Envy wants to aggress further. But again, just like you pointed out, Dan, they've got to communicate whether or not they have top mid control as well. It's a little bit lighter on Banana. They throw a couple of nades down because that's kind of all they can afford. But fortunately for kind of both of the teams, Envy haven't invested that many grenades themselves either. And they've actually got a lot more to work with.
I was about to say, like, that's like one thing you can condition your opponents into doing is to expending a huge amount of grenades on Banana, because that's sort of what you've been doing, and then but you don't do anything for that one round, and then, as you say, it's a pretty big disparity. Envyus have a very big advantage on if they were to go for a set piece, as the counter grenades would be limited. But that's a good way to defuse a potential painful push.
Smoke towards Arch, bouncing off the corner. There we go.
Nice.
Nobody is top mid though for NiP, so they are devoid of information anyway. There's a Molotov and the flashes behind it. So reasonable amount of grenades being deployed by Haji. He's trying to sell the fake here, and Draken is getting curious towards Arch. Ooh, walking through the smoke. Not a good idea versus Mr. D-Lord. Get right now. Ooh, that's nasty. Get right, just waiting, being teased, delivering the second kill. Can he find a third? Perhaps he's done enough, along with his teammates, leaving Scream alone. Instant push through the smoke. It looked like Draken getting cheeky there, missing the shot though. And now Scream's got a 1 versus 2. The bomb's not planted just yet, however. So he's delayed that, but the bomb will go down. Now Dennis is in position, but he wants a double pick. Oh! Scream! Woo! Not enough. Not enough. NiP get their first round on the board. But Envy have so much money.
They played that round really well. Envy played that round to a T, like very, very well. Because Draken got the pick. They already had cleared Banana. Obviously, we saw NiP left it because their nades are so low. And then you get the... They just try to execute into the B side. And they did it with a really good timing. And the nades by Haji to like, sort of like fake top mid control was really good as well. So it's very simple.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I just think that Haji... I think at the very least, Haji's job was to grab attention at A. And NiP, for that reason, were at some point going to call it out, and that's why Draken caught him. And maybe they win that round if Haji just goes back to Banana, because he didn't actually pull a rotate out of B.
Right.
He held the rotates, which was great. And I think all the nades he chose were perfect.
Yep.
Like something for lane, something for Arch, and a flash over.
Ooh, again, we saw this yesterday from Haji. He is definitely seeking redemption after the previous round and looking to break NiP, break their back after a solitary round win.
What's Happy going to do here? He missed his window to try and trade that frag, but he's still going for it, but he has teammates in tow. Dennis well positioned, however, buying time now, baiting for his teammate, but he will go down eventually. Get right, he's going to spread again, but he won't get enough out of it, and that's the reset for NiP. That's pretty much good half right there.
Holy smokes.
Felt like Dennis's play there was really awesome, actually. That was like such a smart way to handle that situation.
Yeah.
We saw this exact same move from Haji yesterday, walking in towards A. Just gets 2 kills. Dennis almost saves this here, actually. If Get Right lands that spray, it's probably an NiP round. It's a very, very, very marginal situation. It's pretty cool to see the switch up in pace from Envyus as well, as far as their T side is concerned, hitting with a... Like, they put so much emphasis early round on B, Banana, and that was a very fast A round, which can punish the early 3-man setup on Banana, which NiP very well may have made. They didn't, but still. If they had, it would have been a very, 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 a much easier round. Yeah, I'm liking the Envyus' T side right now. It just seems like NiP, they really put their foot. They made some misreads and didn't handle Banana well in the first few buy rounds, and now they're suffering for that. It's all about Envyus' calling, and they're doing a pretty good job at the calling.
That's the Houdini.
Okay, so they're gonna go A, leave 1 Banana. Maybe? No, okay. RPK is actually backing away as well. Thought they'd leave RPK to like maybe re-smoke the site, B site or something, and keep players there, but they've made it to A with good time.
Draken patiently waiting. In terms of good time, the Molotov, the headshot. You just wondered. You almost lust for disaster in a situation like that.
I saw the glasses coming down.
You almost lust for disaster, but there we go. 3 USPs.
I just wish you could have fired 2 bullets. Just two. Just two. I just want 2. So sad. Not a good map for NiP so far. How would you fix it, James? What would you do?
Can't fix it if you got no money. You just can't.
Ain't got no money.
It's actually huge advice. I mean,
NiP are getting Vegas Squadrons, man.
if you don't have money, you're just put in a worse and worse position every single time. And then you get to the point where you need rounds, despite how much money you have.
Somehow Draken's got an AWP out of this. I don't know how. I don't know who he's borrowed some cash from, but he's got the AWP. He's got a forward spawn. He has no Kevlar though. He could be exploderized by grenades.
I like how you corrected exploded with exploderized. Oh my gosh.
Just staying out there, man.
Risks must be taken.
This isn't scary for Draken. He's just like, don't let me get killed, bro. This is scary for Dennis.
Yeah. They stand on that for so long, which is interesting, because, you know, how do they read that? They likely read it as a lot of presence on Banana, which would be correct. There's 3 players in the vicinity, but NiP don't have the utility to really challenge it, so it's a lot of guesswork at the moment. But the grenades may start to confirm that there are a few players for Envyus in that position. But we know that NiP are pretty hungry to make a play if they possibly can. It's just that at this timing in the round, there's so many things that could be happening. There's so many players that could be all over the place that it becomes the risk becomes too high to start wandering around. So they're waiting for Envyus to do something. And do something they will. A lot of grenades towards B. They know NiP's utility can't be high, so they're trying to bait out as much as possible. Oh, this could be big.
Oh boy. He knows.
The flash in support. Oh! 2 would have been everything, but ended up being something. Not nothing, and not it all. 20 seconds for the bomb to go down. Re-smoking the CT position as the CTs start to stream in, but they will stream back out again. Save time for Ninjas in Pyjamas. A horrific CT side from them so far, but it is fantastic for Envy. Much needed lead, but again, we need them to convert as well. They've got to get some W's on the board here.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking like that is going to be happening anytime soon with the way things have been going. Again, just another really good round from Envyus. I think their calling has been just really on point on this T side. I think part of the objective for them in this round was take it slow because, like, first of all, they're thinking, let's not get wrecked by aggression. We saw them be very slow on their timings towards Banana. The second thing is they wanted to drawn out rounds where they're trying to actively bait out utility. And then they set up a situation where they can go for an execution onto the B site where there's limited to no counter grenades for the CTs. So that's very good basics from Envyus in that regard. And in also leaving it for so long, NiP's options for aggression diminish massively without massive risks. So it's going well for the French. Draken's had enough. Oh. He's had enough.
How is that not a headshot? Who knows? Either way, he's dead. And now that's a nasty surprise. Forrest, where's the communication? Hasn't come fast enough. Perhaps Scream concerned that he was going to get pinched from the players up top. Either way, it's not a good situation for Envy, but how long can NiP stand here? Because you've got to assume people are in second mid, so Forrest is going to go down, not without a fight though, and there is the instant flank from Get Right, leaving Happy and Haji alone, but it seems that they have still got a round to win. Happy's picked up the bomb, he spotted one player moving through the middle area, can raise the alarm to his teammate, but his teammate's in the pit, so Happy has to make his way with the bomb towards the A site. Chasing one player, but there's one more waiting for him on Banana. Surely this bomb's going to be lost. Happy, that's a massive headshot from him.
They are really fighting for this one. The bomb is still in mid. It is still recoverable for Haji. But Get Right, so sneaky. 50 seconds to go, and Draken will pick Haji out of the air with the AWP. And NiP win around by forcing the pace, forcing themselves onto their opponents and not allowing Envyus to have any say or in how the round is dictated.
I think they needed to tighten up though after they got those kills because they're still at risk. They can't afford another reset here, and Envy has so much more money than them.
Could avoid that 13-2 situation, which could very well be the case. And as Lorna's pointed out, Draken going aggressive sees nothing. It's pretty cool, actually. Again, we see that Molotov so commonly now by the cart. Although it doesn't make too much sense unless the T's are pushing with it. Palmer's control being worked on slowly but surely by the Envyus side. And NiP have a 3-man setup towards the quad and pit side A. Abandoning Arch completely.
This is really nice for NiP because they get to hold on to B with just their off, which I think is the ideal situation. But now that they've kind of retaken it or started to, ooh.
Oh, that was so close for Draken, so close. But it is RPK after all. RPK won't give you much chance to kill him. Moving through towards the B bomb site now. Rez trying to delay, but it's a bit too far. A bit too late. RPK charges all the way through to the construction position. Rez with a nice angle. I didn't even know where he got hit from the head from. But he did, and he's dead. Now it's time for Envy to rotate. They've got Scream moving towards the arch position. He should here get right towards Speedway, and there's a grenade as well.
Oh, I liked having him there.
Yeah, just holding Arch, yeah, holding the rotation. Either way, now he joins the main effort. Let's see if this is going to work out for them. He's going to be the bait, so he has sacrificed himself to get the bomb down, and it may happen, but there is a player oncoming quickly towards the quad position. I believe it is Get Right as he makes his way around. Happy holds the angle. Very good crosshair placement. Happy switches around for the library position, but will find himself the victim of Dennis. Now it's the new man, the academy man. All grown up and looking to clutch with the AK-47. Ooh, very tough, both players bearing down upon him, and NiP will crush Envyus this round.
1 HP for Rez is enough to win the round. He'll delay while the AWP is collected of Draken. He has a kit. Back on the bomb, back on the AWP.
Based on how much presence they just had at B, I think it was very important for Scream to sit there at Arch because of it's such an advanced position that he could, if he got that first kill, you know, no one else can come close. They can get the bomb down. It'd be very difficult to deal with him. But it was obviously called for him to just, I think, go lane with his teammates to trade out.
It's nice after that first kill, Draken tries to buy as much time as possible before getting to avoid getting traded, to get his second shots off by strafing to the left. Smart play from the experienced sniper. NiP looking for round number 4. Envy needs to smoke these players out. The more rounds they give, the harder it will be. And once again, surprisingly plays towards B bomb site, but it is a war of attrition around Inferno.
Draken able to take some defensive shots, and it's going to go well for him. Scream taking control of Arch, but the bomb is on quad, so that is the point of concern now for Envyus, as they also need to worry about flanking. We can see Get Right's on the task. Scream was ready for it though, turning his attention to Get Right. And now the round becomes fairly doable here. They're running out of utility. They'll have to make it work. The peaks, the raw peaks. But the positional advantage of NiP is surely too much, but still happy with a nice peek and shot into Forrest's face.
Just go back.
Makes the dream quite doable here, but challenging Draken could be a mistake. Flick shot comes in, it's going to whiff. Draken has a lot of room to play with here. He can try to rotate, which he's actually doing right now, or he could have just stayed where he was towards Moto and waited. Scream unsure what decision was made by Draken. So many ways for Draken to play this. Could come late quads, could still be hanging around Arch or Library, but he's coming out of the balcony, and that's a great shot there. No hesitation. Very, very nice from Draken. But they have to wonder, should they have gone back?
I wonder, yeah. I'm not sure why that wasn't their first thought. Maybe it's because Draken, I guess, could have wrapped around to the other side and taken a peek. And they're worried about it for that reason.
Guess it's a devil you know versus devil you don't. You know where he is versus rotating and resetting the situation, and him maybe having an angle on the B-bomb site. Surprise Scream didn't consider that he could come from short there with his plant, but maybe he probably thought he would hold an angle to see if Scream crossed the pit instead. Draken top mid once again. Not afraid to peek, but then who is there to really challenge him on that duel? Nice fast peek there. No one loses anything from either side. Forest, how many kills does he get from this?
Oh my god.
He's being flanked though. Pushing through the smoke, but he's showing too much body.
Can't believe he just went for that. That's so insane, just pushing the smoke and apps. What a beast. Happy now, pushing the smoke on balcony with the flashbang. And there is a setup on the bomb side itself. And Draken and Get-Right are melting the French side. They are unable to do anything here as they move into the bomb site. I think they felt like they had more of an advantage than they did. Kiyoshima trying his best here, but it's really difficult to get in. Draken is hitting all of his shots. Another massive round from Draken. 3 kills this time versus the 4 last round. He doubled his score in 2 rounds.
This will be a weird game to lose, huh?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mankeys.
Monkeys.
Is that like
Pokemon?
hankies? Pokemon?
Mankey, yeah, it's like a monkey Pokemon.
Oh, is it?
Where does it say that?
Somebody just won Facebook points. It comes and it goes, Launders. You must pay attention. You must focus. You must be like water if you want to see the Facebook points be distributed. Scream, how many does he see? Is that 2 on the radar or is it 3? Either way, it's a pistol round and not much information can really be taken just yet. We've seen many a slow pistol round recently. This might be another one. Get right with a smoke and a flash. Maybe it's for B.
Okay, so pretty chilled start by NiP. Oh, the duels, the duels. Kiyoshima liked it, but now he doesn't like it so much anymore. Happy. Gets the spot that they're moving into top mid. We get the rotation starting to come in. Scream does manage to get a kill, but receiving a dink makes life difficult. NiP will know that. And they're actually going to rotate here. 4v4 still, and they've done some good damage. This is a good call.
Haji alone in the B-bomb site. The rotation, will it come fast enough? And indeed, the grenades are ultimately for the B-bomb site. Flashbang over the roof, very powerful. Haji's still alive, around a coffin position. And Haji's dead. Boost is here though. RPK, that second shot was nasty. And he's kept his team in the game. Although, Scream is still on the A-bomb site for the time being. So RPK, sorry, Happy now is alone. Although, ooh, hold on a second. Where is he going with the bomb now, Draken? Crossing back to the site and landing the headshot immediately. And they see Scream with 6 HP. Not afraid is Draken, such an aggressive player. I wondered if you were going to see some next level rotation.
There was 13 seconds up at that point. Or right at, I mean, he might have been able to when he went to peek Nana, but like right at the end of the round. If Scream had lived, it would have forced a very awkward plant for Draken. But yeah, that was a little bit weird.
Llama.
See? You see it? A llama has won now.
Say Flama?
Llama.
Oh.
It really kicks the llama's ass.
3 nades B, NiP turned their attention to mid.
Why are you laughing? Why are you
that's just the immediate response is just like, all right, well, less players today, let's go.
Yep. Yes, yes, yes. I feel like that needs to be a buy round strat. 3 HEs to have a strat. How do we breach top mid in the best way with the minimal risk possible to try and go for a fast round? When people often go 3B, where do the 2 people start at? How can we exploit those positions?
Yeah, it's
How likely is it someone's going to be in the pit? Should make my own strat for it.
Should.
You should become a professional player.
I'm a professional player, just no one's paying me. I'm on Team Boxer now. Yeah. I'm paid in keycaps and t-shirts.
Okay, so
In
NiP.
perpetuity.
What's that?
In perpetuity.
Perpetuity.
It's like a Sea Org contract for 1 billion years.
Well, 3 rounds away, and the reality of NiP making this game that was so awful for them to begin with, a victory is starting to become a possibility, depending on how the CT side of Envyus goes. Each side winning a pistol apiece on their P side. Some good early nade damage done by Envyus. NiP suffering a bit, but they can run into the stack. Just put the nades in the right spots, get right in there first, and then life will be good. See, let's get right. Nice, sniping him down with a Mac-10. That's how you do it.
Back alley Surgeon get right with his precision Mac-10. Down to the CZ as the stack continues to fall. The Jenga pieces have been obliterated. And now Envy are on the bye. 8-10 in favour of the French-speaking side. What to do now? The domination of the first half seems like a distant memory. Now they have to claw their way to a win, Envious, versus a probably favoured NiP. An exchange of Molotovs. Both these teams lack petrol. Oh dear. Second T player accidentally threw his Molotov into the back of his teammate.
Rez throws. Oh, I was gonna say Rez throws one of the most important smokes there. The top banana once he sees the extra Molotov coming down, and that's just what T's have been doing to deny anybody from peeking behind that car while the mollies are down, like the carpet Molotovs, the banana flambe. This really just calms it down.
Here comes the push. Then it's hop, skip, and a jump. But this is not an Olympic event, and you will die. Kyoshimo with a wild spray there. He's got the hose on the wrong
Looked like he was
mode.
trying to rocket jump there for a second.
It's not TF2. It's not jump underscore pagoda.
Excuse me, you can't say rocket jumps. TF2 can't be the first thing that comes to mind, please. Come on, that's
I used
just
to
disgusting.
play. I used to
Come
play
on.
rocket jump maps in TF2.
Yeah, I don't care, James. It's just dumb and wrong.
NiP looking to plant the bomb, but there are 2 NV players in construction already. So Envious are as well positioned as they might be for, as they could be perhaps, for the retake here. No one on banana, but that's okay. Forrest missing the first shot. Grenades coming in from the CT side. He's still got them lined up well. Moving around the pillar, looking for the taps is Forrest. He's doing nasty work, but it's not going to be enough. Draken, they will finish things off. Garden hose for Draken. Forrest looking for them highlights, man. He's feeling it today. 9 for 17 on this map, but just look at these. Look at that. Looking for the precise shots. Draken's like just like spray. Mouse 1, let's go.
This is beginning. I mean, it depends on like how the next 2 buy rounds go for Envyus, but this could start becoming very demoralizing considering how well they played. I felt like they played really well on that T side. They had really good discipline.
Considering they lost their last 7 maps, at this point, I would just be like, we're losing. Like, that's the in our mind, you know, it's hard. Your confidence must be very low.
It's definitely tough. That in of itself is an interesting discussion point. Like, are there ways to mitigate that, or is it just something that is just, you know, present? Is it something that is different for every person? Like, for example, does Cold Zero have a quality where he always thinks he's going to win?
That's why,
like, you know, it's just...
Yeah. Or maybe he wants, maybe it's also wanting to win so badly that nothing else matters.
And it's hard too, because there's a difference between like you consciously thinking that and you sort of subconsciously what you actually believe in your bones.
Absolutely.
So
That's why good leadership is important too, because sometimes how confident you feel depends on how confident you feel like teammates feel, because you don't feel like you have control over that.
Yes.
So if you know, if a good leader that can instill confidence in everybody, you feel like, all right, as long as he's feeling it, letting us know that he feels confident, then we all feel good. It's a little bit easier to be invested.
This is a cool push from Envyus and Apps, and it definitely punishes NiP for not really pressuring it a bit heavier. And that's actually really nice because a lot of teams do actually spend the early round going to banana. So this makes the play viable. Hadji looking to defend pretty effectively. That's good damage.
I'm surprised the flash didn't flash him, but I suppose it was designed for maybe somebody in the short position behind the pillars. So went deeper. That's all I can really make sense of. Forrest taken out. Happy was there for quite a long time, and now they find themselves in a 2 versus 4 NiP. One of these two teams looking to take the lead. Happy tries to exit apartments, and that appears to be a mistake. Scream in the pit position. Moving deep and making it more awkward if someone's on the balcony. Will also avoid a Molotov should one be thrown. NiP moving really slowly, and that will allow the CTs to close in on their position.
Poor Scream. That's going to be a quick plant now for NiP. They have a very solid chance here. Kiyoshima lurks. No, just jumps in. Launches himself into Dennis. He was not aware of that move. Draken now has to do it from the pit. Smoke is down. Really awkward position for him. They're going to try to take the fight together as they push him. He's going to work the side of the smoke here. USP comes out. Should be more than enough time for Kiyoshima to get the defuse there. I actually thought that they were about to throw that round there, but Kiyoshima nails it. There's hope for the French.
It's been a good day for Kiyoshima today.
Yeah.
Despite the L, I mean, personal performance has been alive and kicking, been rocking. Still a tight match. Both teams on the buy. Draken with $15,050 or something along those lines at the beginning of this round. So there's lots of pressure now. NiP can get some revenge on Envy in that regard. Keep the pressure up on the economy. Envy, can they string some rounds together on a CT side now? It's really important that they do if they are to take this one down the line. Happy on the sniper rifle. Some flashes top mid. Tries to push players back, but they will hold steadfast. Scream playing the balcony position from the side, moving around. The other two will be content top mid for the time being. Smoke on Arch. Happy going for a timing shot. No smoke in response at the top of mid. And now NiP tries to clear out the banana position. They'll trade RPK, but there's one more behind the smoke.
They pull the rotate, minute up. Oh, they're actually going right through it. Wow.
Great flash.
I didn't even expect that.
Really nice first flash. Happy able to take control of construction pretty quickly, but NiP not looking too bad on this take. The only issue is that GetRight is looking for the flank. He needs to really, now he's gone so deep, GetRight really needs to come back and help his teammates. I think he's going to do that as he reappears from top banana. And Draken, fast as the smoke dissipates. He is ready with his finger on the trigger. Another player comes in for the peek. It's Happy. Happy's doing a pretty good job, quite fast himself as he looks for the next one. Oh, he connects that, but it's not going to be the finishing shot. Unfortunately, the legs are too long. Got long legs, James.
Happy long legs.
AWP to be collected. There we go.
Damn, that was almost a great round for Happy.
I wonder where that flash went. I guess it went over the CT roof.
Do you mean the one?
Kiyoshima in that position.
I thought it went next to him.
I don't know. I didn't see it on the screen. Just trying to guess.
Okay. I think I saw it go next to him, but I might be wrong.
Pretty cool either way. And indeed, it has broken the money of Envy, but they did rescue the AWP at the end of the last round, so Happy needs to try and make some plays with that in the apartments for the time being. How about that for a setup? Dennis not committing. Now 3 people in apartments.
I actually like this because early round, if you think a team goes banana off him with 2 to 3 players, taking people into apartments, you know, usually it would be a bit unfavorable, but for the CTs. But if you know that you're going to be 3v1 in that situation early round, you can get a lot of info and potentially get a free kill. So it makes a lot of sense to do it in a round like this.
Yeah, this is kind of what NiP didn't want to do on their half force up with an op type round on CT side in the first half. So, I mean, it's nice. They got some information. They at least helped them rotate at least one over to B.
NiP going back. Very sneaky stuff. And this is what we're talking about previously. We talked about how light-footed the CT side is, how quick they are to rotate when you're on a force buy situation. You really want to desperately get into position in time, so you go off of the slightest information. And so NiP have exploited that magnificently here.
This as well, since they're walking back, you think, all right, well, they're not at B. Of course, they're gonna go A here. But Envy have actually stacked harder than ever at B, because they think that NiP were just gonna re-aggress on top of that. So
it makes a lot of sense too, right? Because you don't want to be caught out of position, so you kind of have to gamble at a certain point.
I also think you look significantly more stupid if you rotate back and they re-exec.
Yeah.
So, or feel stupid.
That's true. And that's the interesting thing too, like some different teams have different styles. Some teams do like to make things look really elaborate, whereas some teams won't go past like a double fake. Like that's like the hard limit, because things do get very complicated. You create a lot of unknowns when you begin to do stuff like that, and so it can make it harder to play out the rounds.
Yeah, it's kind of a question of, can you have a repeat rock, paper, scissors champion?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Because it does come down to that, but at the same time, there is some merit to the mind game.
Okay, we're looking at Molotov here.
Wow.
Nice.
I haven't seen that for a while.
Nice. Everyone gets wrecked. And if you're at the back of the site. All who is at the back of the site gets wrecked. Hachi!
Oh, he's in trouble now.
Oh no. Yeah, I hate to see that. Gotta hit those first shots.
As soon as the guy gets into pit, he's getting smoked, man.
Damn.
Okay, right, it's going even further. Is this the run to victory for Ninjas in Pyjamas? AWP unable to get anything done here. Kishima doing more damage with the Deagle, but this is where Happy needs to capitalize. A flashbang. That's not even a player. Can't really go back to the well now. 1 versus 2. What do NiP choose to do? Using the smoke as a fake flashbang. The quick scope, maybe too quick. The idea was great. The back was turned, but the round was full with NiP.
That was actually on as well. I think he's just running, right?
Yeah, he jumped in, I think.
Nice.
So, yeah, he jumped in.
Oh.
That's unlucky, man. That was a good play, because, you know, the standard retake would have gone nowhere. Op 1v2, and you let them pick their spots. So, he had to do something like that.
And maybe they're lined up in that spot and you get the double or something like ridiculous. Still, like as you say, like looks better than the drawn out, somewhat impossible 1v2. Okay, so we got the Screaming Apps doing a good job here. The Molotov doing a really good job in sort of obscuring Scream for Get Right, allowing Scream to have an advantage in the fight, and now the resmoke here. So it's gone very well here for Envyus. It's a very interesting game insofar as things are sort of tightening up now between the two teams. And NiP, though, they have taken a decent lead.
Look at the amount of map control that Envy have. This is unreal. Like here, they want to, you know, you still want to play 4A, but they have 2 fast flanks at the bottom of Banana. This is like, there's basically no way NiP win this. If they don't, as long as Envy just don't give them a free kill right here, let them execute, there's no way.
Well, their smokes are running out, and they are going for the flank after all. Spotting 3 players, RPK bursting. That's 2 down. Still patient on the 3rd, but Kishima's there to trade. Does he hold his ground, Kishima, though? Wow, look at that. The distraction. Happy will capitalize on it. AWP is rescued once again. NiP crushed.
The best thing about this too is that, okay, one is that RPK is the first guy, because those are actually deceptively hard shots to guarantee to get the 2 kills there, but still, I really liked how they did just keep 2 people at the bottom of Banana. You rarely see that. It's more standard only to leave 1, and it's cool to see that mix-up, because it also says to NiP in the future that you have to respect, if they've taken Banana like that, you do need to take it back from them to prevent that.
Oh, its flash did not quite work out, but Happy's holding an off angle anyway. Changing the setup of the CT side. RPK continues to deliver though. But this time Rez will find some revenge. That will put Envy in an awkward spot. Does Kishima hit a flashbang? He manages to avoid it. No commitment behind it. Oh my god. Kishima not afraid. great addition to Envy he is proving to be, but does he have more in him? He hears the footsteps, surely. Red's lining up a grenade. Kishima seems to have a read on it, and he just continues to deliver. And that Molotov means that they can't even push.
Yeah, he's feeling it. That was really, really nice work. He knows that there is a trade fragger there. He set that shot up really well and has created hell for NiP. But there are enough players dead that it's kind of chaotic for everybody at this point. So many blind spots on the map. Scream catches Rez at the perfect timing, leaving Get Right in the 1v3. Scream really needed to get around that corner in time.
That's crazy. Get Right heard Hadji running around in the apartments, and he understood that Hadji was pushing, and there would probably be a hole in shorts. But it just can't move fast enough. And there's another round for Envy.
13-13. Hard to see which way this one's going to go now.
It does, yeah.
It's really very interesting game. But this is just brilliant textbook stuff from Kiyoshima. You always have to be thinking about the trade fragger just as a default sort of.
And the guy who comes to help Rez fight, he thinks that Kiyoshima's on the left side. So Kiyoshima realizes that Rez can't fight for that second. The other guy's probably going to swing on me to make sure I trade. And he goes out wide himself just to make it weird for the guy who's probably pre-aiming to the left side.
Yeah, and then when he goes down, eventually he can't even see the guy because of the flame. So who knows if he might have got more. 13 apiece. These buys are becoming more and more important. Envy with one smoke, two smokes, sorry, and a bunch of flashes. Happy in the couch position. Do wonder if he's on the couch. If he knows Draken is awesome, or ping. Then if Draken pre-fired this position, the couch would help him stay alive if he was tagged, because he'll be elevated. That's what you used to see on Inferno. Don't really see it anymore on new Inferno. Snipers often play next to the sight corner instead, so they can better support the short position. Once they know where you are as well, shooting from inside library is really successful and very difficult. Scream with a cheeky pick, the bursts from Scream. He's seen the bomb as well, which means the B players can rotate. They're not moving just yet though. I don't know why, 40 seconds. The bomb's kind of stuck in short, so the rotation should be coming in, but is it even needed? Scream with 3, 4 versus 2. And now they start to rotate, but maybe the damage has been done anyway. Happy will eventually go down. And Hadji is there to trade. No plant for NiP, and they might be on eco.
That was a great round from Envy. They were not respecting the information. NiP seemed a little bit uncomfortable coming up mid. Looked like at the end of that round they didn't even really want to commit to A, and they were a little bit slow here. And this is Scream's dream round, where he's getting his fights one-on-ones. They're kind of in front of him. He has 2 or 3 seconds to engage. Like, those are the fights he's going to win 90% of the time. So he set himself up really well for those.
Yeah, close to medium range. He will devastate you. I played Scream on cash in matchmaking once.
How was that?
Pretty painful.
Yeah?
All you had was ding, then suddenly you're watching your teammates.
Yeah.
Whoever else is alive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that Envyus decided to take a super passive setup that round. As you say, like, there's no info at any point for them. And NiP got sort of punished for not trying to exploit that by running a default, which is, I don't know exactly, what would have been the reason for that. But like, if you look at that round in hindsight, you see that if they have one man going banana, they at least give themselves the chance to double back. As you say, they would likely have wanted to. And either way, Envyus now putting presence back onto banana, keeping things unpredictable. But NiP only have pistols at this point. So Envyus are really in a position where if everything goes right from this point forward, they should really win this game.
About to be offered up match point right here. Oh, it's definitely a good start. RPK and Kyo have been doing a fantastic job with Banana.
Yeah. Kiyoshi was a very versatile player. He's a very smart player as well, and he's pretty good under pressure. I've always had quite a lot of respect for his abilities. He's one of those very smart clutch players. If you watch him in a 1vx, he's often very, very good in them.
The problem.
Fish in a barrel.
Right then, match point. NiP playing for overtime. Successful game of Inferno for Envy so far, but it all counts for nothing if they don't take the W. Reasonable grenades for NiP. 5 AKs as well. Draken 30 for 16 at the moment. And he's reduced to the AK-47. Although he was explosive on the CT side.
Oh my god.
Oh, Dennis is a long journey and he will not make it.
That was his teammate's Molotov? Why was he running through that far?
I think because the CT's put one behind it, which he got caught in, and he felt like, I guess, that he could
But
make
he
it.
should have known that that Molotov was landing, even if it wasn't there yet. Not like it's his fault, but you know, either four should have been like. I feel like when they said about a spawn, it should have been understood.
Is this the W for Envy? 5-on-3 now.
I like that push from Scream. Knowing that there's so many people on Banana, that's a pretty safe push in apps to take. Last chance saloon on A. He said it's been working very well for Envyus so far. The wait, the tension builds. They're really not leaving themselves too much time here. Rez to take the initiative. He's so ready for that though. NiP, not much going for them at this point. Forrester does get one at the end. There's a 1v3 for him, but no time, no bomb.